Hey, you guys, it's your girl Cass again, and we are back with episode 2 of the fourth quarter sports. We got Ryan and we have Mr. Eves. Before we even jump in, I want to say thank you guys for your support with episode 1. You guys have been tremendous. We love the feedback, we love the comments, and this is what we're here to do. We're here to have conversation, have a little bit of debate and a little bit of fun. So let's go ahead and jump into these questions. All right, so first question, guys. The Los Angeles Clippers, right? They traded James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers for point guard Darius Garland and a second round pick. Now, you have James Harden and you have Donovan Mitchell, who may be my cousin, I don't know, on the same team. So Donovan Mitchell averaging like 28.8 points per game, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have James Harden, who's averaging about 25.4 points per game. So I just want to know, can James Harden and Donovan Mitchell play well together?
I'll go ahead and start off. I think this trade was a win for Cleveland. Let me tell you why. Is because we always talk about how James Harden doesn't show up in the big moments, right? I think he's one of the best scorers that ever played. In my opinion, probably the best ISO player that's ever played basketball. If you think about the best isolation players, you think about Allen Iverson, you think about Kevin Durant, you think about guys like that who score at a high level. Well, he's up there. And I think where Donovan Mitchell, when Evan Mobley and these guys get a James Harden that can elevate the team, you talk about they can compete with the Knicks. They can compete with Detroit. We can't write them out. So I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers won this trade knowing that they've gotten younger. I say they gotten younger, but they got more experience and they got a general coming in and ready to score, ready to go. And I think this will help Donovan Mitchell's game. It'll help him elevate his game as well. It'll help elevate the Cavs overall. So we're looking at a good playoff punch. I would say right now I would still pick the Knicks to win the East. Yeah, but I think the Cleveland Cavaliers would be right there. And you never know. Based on James Harden going to Cleveland, we're talking about LeBron coming there next year to finish out his career.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If I'm LeBron, I'll take a look at it. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, you're back in the old town. Why not, right? So as far as the Clippers trading Darius Garland, they got younger. The Clippers were the oldest team in the NBA. I think their average age was about 35 plus.
Mm.
Right. So I'm gonna say it on the rebuild, but they needed a point guard. And I think Darius Garland, who's a two-time All-Star, he's very talented, he's very young. He can coexist with Kawhi Leonard. He can come in and really spark, when he's not injured, he's a hell of a player. So in that regard, I think the trade will work out with both. But as far as who won this trade, the Cleveland Cavaliers won this trade by far.
Nah, I agree with you. Eve's looking like, nah, I don't know about that.
Man, it's Black History Month, so let me start off with the positive and build up James Harden. Like Ryan said, he's an amazing player, amazing scorer and facilitator at the same time. But we've seen this time and time again. We've seen James Harden play good in the regular season. The playoffs roll around, what does he do? He collapses, he falls out, he doesn't play well time after time after time after time after time and again. I mean, I even saw myself in Philly. He made Embiid the MVP that year. But unfortunately, Embiid got hurt, and when it was time for all the pressure to be on James Harden, he failed us. He did it in Houston. It happened in Brooklyn. I hope the Cleveland Cavaliers play good. I would love to see LeBron go back there. It would be an amazing story for him to finish back off where he started at. I'm hopefully finish off on a team that can compete for a ring. But with James Harden needing to be a focal point of that offense, I just don't see it happening. As good as himself and Donovan Mitchell is, I don't see them being able to coexist and get the Cavaliers that championship.
Oh, I feel like those are like two dynamic players that can really do some things with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
They are two dynamic scorers, 100%, and two decent facilitators. James Harden is great. Donovan Mitchell is a decent facilitator. But the Cavaliers already had a problem with collapsing in the playoffs. We saw it last year. We saw it the year before last. the core four they had with Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, it hasn't worked in the playoffs. You're adding that with a player that hasn't worked in the playoffs. Just two negatives still is a negative. It's not a positive yet. Honestly, I do think that the Clippers actually won the trade. They got a lot younger. They were able to shed some salary. They're going into a rebuild mode. I'm interested to see what happens with Kawhi this summer, but I do think this is a whole different Clippers team we're looking at next year, 2 years down the road. I think the ability to get a younger player and get an asset in Darius Garland, who's still an amazing scorer and a great facilitator, like you said, when he's healthy. That's kind of the story about the Clippers. They need to be healthy, but I think this is a right start to get off to the rebuild.
I would tell you, Eve, that right now Cleveland's number 2. Right. I will put Detroit number 1. I will put Cleveland number 2, and I'll put the Knicks number 3. Let me tell you why. Is because the Cleveland Cavaliers, not only did they get a veteran like we talked about, but they also, their core is really good. You got to think about Evan Mobley. He's going to get better. You got Jared Allen. When James Harden plays with a big man, he makes them better. You talked about Joel Embiid winning MVP while he was there. Well, Jared Allen, block shots, you throw it up to him, you lob it up to him, he'll dunk it. He's going to play hard because James Harden, as much as he facilitates, all eyes will be on him when he has the ball. So it's going to open up doors for Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, some of the other guys that can really shoot the ball.
Donovan Mitchell likes to score with the ball in his hand. He's an
Sure.
amazing isolation scorer.
Sure.
If both of them are 2 isolation scorers, how can that coexist?
He's going to have, well, when you have 2 guys who are ball dominant like that, they're both going to have to give up some space on the ball, meaning somebody's going to have to catch and shoot, right? You think about guys who are both ball dominant, can it work? Absolutely. But in this instance, with the both of them, since they need the ball, they need to get off a shot, they really create well off pick and roll, getting downhill, transition 3, things that scoring at all 3 levels. Well, you're going to have to flip flop it. And then sometimes they won't be in the game at the same time. So when Donovan Mitchell's out of the game, James Harden's in the game, yeah, he has free range, and vice versa. When Donovan Mitchell's in the game and James Harden is out, well, you got those guys that can still facilitate and make things happen for the team. But as far as the offense, I think they have a high power offense now because I think James Harden fits in with the young guys, and they're younger. He's not playing with older guys on the Clippers. And guess what? The Clippers were right now, they won about over 10 games. They were on I believe a 12, 13 game winning streak, and they were in the play-in, not even in the play-in yet actually, but they won a lot of games in the month of January. Well, now you trade James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team who's top 5 in the East, right? Ready to go to the playoffs. Now you're right. We got to see what James Harden is going to do if he gets to in Game 7. I'm scared to death. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't bet my money on James Harden in the Game 6, Game 7 because we've seen the collapse in Houston. We've seen the collapse in Philly, like you said, right? We've seen Cleveland collapse last year and getting swept. I believe they got swept by Indiana. So we talked about James Harden and the Cleveland Cavaliers breaking down in the playoffs.
Yeah,
It's question marks. But as of right now, this is where they need it after assuming he'll play after All-Star weekend to resume the season. This is where they're going to get better. This is where he's going to be acclimated, and we'll see how him and Donovan Mitchell can coexist, which I think they will very well.
Okay.
So it sounds like you're thinking like they don't have a chance to win the championship. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm hearing.
If it gets to a Game 7, if it's a Game 7 against the Knicks, if it's a Game 7 against Detroit, even if it's a Game 7 against Boston, I am scared. I'm scared. Don't let it get to a Game 7. That's all I'm gonna say. Because if it gets to a Game 7 in Cleveland, you may have a shot. But if it gets to a Game 7 and it's at Madison Square Garden, forget about it. James Harden he's averaging 13 points in Game 7. That's not going to be enough to win a game. This is where you earn your stripes. He's earned the stripes, but this is where you solidify yourself as a player that can get it done. When it's time to get down to the crunch time, every hooper dreams about that. The last 5 minutes of the game, the last 2 minutes of the game, how you going to play?
No, facts. Okay.
And that's a blemish on his resume right now, so he can fix it.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Y'all drop in the comments what are your opinions around this whole trade with James Harden and Darius Garland, and then James Harden, being one-on-one with Donovan Mitchell. I definitely want to hear y'all feedback on that. But we also want to focus on another trade that took place. The Dallas Mavericks traded Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards. Do you think the trade of Anthony Davis for the Luka trade was the worst trade of all time?
I think hands down, this has to be looked at as one of the worst trades of all time. You gave up
Sheesh.
a franchise cornerstone player, a young player in Luka Doncic, who just led you to the NBA Finals, who has led you to the Western Conference Finals, who has proven to be a top three player in the NBA. You gave him away for Anthony Davis in the first round pick and Max Christie. Max Christie was decent, but nothing compared to Luka. And then you traded that away for Chris Middleton, some second round picks. This is just an absolute failure by the Dallas Mavericks. They should be ashamed for how they ruined the draft pick of Luka Doncic. And I'm interested to see where they go from here. Luckily, they do have Cooper Flag. He has a chance to develop. He is playing extremely well. One of the best rookies we saw in a long time. Hopefully, they hit on the draft pick. If not, they definitely fumbled this entire situation.
So I tell you guys this, right? I've been to several Wizards games this past season, and when I tell you it's hard to watch the Wizards play, you have to understand now you're getting a cornerstone player like Anthony Davis. You trade for Trae Young a couple weeks ago. And assuming these both guys are hurt, they're not going to play rest of the season, which they shouldn't. But as you said, Eve, yes, this is the worst trade that I can recall in NBA history, right? You give up a 25, 26-year-old averaging 30 iconic brand in Luka Doncic. I mean, you got to think about who was the last white boy that was on fire. The last white boy that can really hoop. I'm trying to think. We think about Larry Bird, right? We think about, let's say, Larry Bird. We think about we think about Dirk Nowitzki, obviously, but Luka is one of those guys where he's a cornerstone. He's supposed to play 20 years in Dallas,
Yeah.
right? So when Nico Harris made that trade, I remember when the trade happened, I was here at the house and I saw Shams Charania, who's an ESPN analyst, read off they're trading Luka to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. Now we understand Anthony Davis was already hurt. Did you guys know he got hurt the first game playing for the Dallas Mavericks? The
I saw
very
that.
first game.
I saw that. Yeah.
The very first game. So boom, right there, right? So fast forward to now, Luka's averaging over 30. They're top 5 in the West. I mean, I went to go see Luka play a couple of days ago here in Washington, D.C. He had a triple-double in the first half. This guy can score. This guy is transcending. And you traded him for an older player, a 32, 33-year-old Anthony Davis, who's been hurt the past 3-4 years. I mean, opened up the door and hurt his hand, he's injured. He sneezed wrong, he's injured. I mean, he get a wrong haircut, he's injured. The guy is injury prone. Now, him coming to DC, I'll tell you guys this. I'm excited about it. Not this year, but he's a Hall of Famer, right? He's good for 25 and 12, right? Trade that. I think that backcourt, I'm not saying a backcourt, that pick and roll with Trae Young and Anthony Davis with some of those young guys is perfect. Now, Anthony Davis talked about he's more of a forward man, which he is. Now he could get to play with Alex Sor, who's the kid from Europe, who's a rookie. I'm sorry, he's in his second year from France. I think that will work. He'll get better playing with Anthony Davis.
Yeah, of
But
course.
as far as this year, going into next year, do we have some two guys in DC that we can watch play? Absolutely. Because before this, it was CJ McCollum, and I prayed for CJ McCollum because I love CJ McCollum. He was in prison playing for the Wizards. It was
Mm.
hard. You can tell he hated playing for him.
That's a bad feeling.
Yeah. Yep. So it's been a while since the Wizards been really good. It's one of those things where they're trying to make a change, and that's they should. And not DC fans in Washington DC love their sports when you're winning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you are winning, it's packed out. It's sold out. I mean, the city is on fire. So for Andy Davis to come to DC, it's the worst trade. Is it the worst trade between him and Luka? Absolutely. You go from Dallas, you go from the Lakers winning championship to Dallas, barely playing more than 30 games, and now you get traded to the Washington Wizards, who are dead last in the East, and you're injured with Trey Young and those guys. But I'm excited about the future. I'm excited for next year. We'll see how it goes. But
Yeah,
it did
definitely.
call for Nico Harrison to lose his job. I don't think he'll ever get another executive job,
Yeah.
because you just don't give up a cornerstone player like that. I guarantee you
Mhm.
they won't give up Cooper Flagg. He's a stud right now. The last 2 games he averaged over 30, right? So with that being said, it's just certain things you don't do, and as a guy who's into basketball, you just don't make a trade like that. But I'm happy for Anthony Davis. Enjoy the city. You'll like it. Washington D.C. is a great city.
Welcome, Anthony Davis. So, since that was the worst trade out of all the trades that are, that took place, what would be like your top favorite trade that you're looking forward to the most?
As far as like this season or ever
Mhm.
that happened,
This
yeah.
season.
I would say I was looking. Well, we all know we were looking for the Greek freak Giannis to get traded, John
I
Morant to get
know.
traded, right? And
Yeah,
that didn't happen. And I can tell you guys why is because their market. Well, let's start with Giannis. His value is very high. He's easily top 5 in the world when he's healthy. When he's playing, he's good for 30 and 12. Right,
Yeah.
guy's unstoppable. Um, from what I'm hearing, a lot of the teams like the Warriors, the Knicks, Minnesota Heat, they weren't giving up the trades weren't right for Milwaukee to give them Giannis, right?
Mhm.
Now here's my thing about Giannis. As great as he is, he asked for a trade, but he didn't force his way out. You think about James Harden forcing his way out of Philly, not playing, acting stubborn, right? So if
Mhm.
Giannis told the front office of Milwaukee, "Hey, I want to go to the Knicks. Send me to the Knicks." Well, he'll be in the Knicks right now. He will be in with the Heat right now if he actually wanted to, right? But um, but now he's going to stay in Milwaukee. I think he should sit out for the rest of the season because they're not going anywhere. They've been losing left and right. And as far as John Morant, same thing. John Morant has one more year left on his deal, and same thing for him. They're wanting to throw some assets for him. They want to throw some first round picks for him. He's averaging 19 points a game, right? And my thing with John Moran is he's great on the court. I know he had his hiccups in the past with things happening off the court, but he's a great player. Now, here's what I'll say about John Moran. He hasn't worked on his game, right? He hasn't worked on that jump shot.
Right.
And let me tell you why. It's because his the guys who are in his class who are around his age, you look at Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, you look at SGA, you look at Jalen Brunson, you look at Tyrese Maxey. These guys have all gotten better in the past 2-3 years, right? And ever since John Moran had his issues off the court, well, he hasn't really been the same. The
Right.
coach got fired. Dylan Brooks got traded. The other player, Desmond Baines, got traded to Orlando Magic. Now Jaren Jackson Jr. got traded to the Jazz. So these guys, they had a young core.
Yeah.
They could have made it work. But I think distractions, issues, and now he's at a
Mhm.
point where, hey man, you got to work on your game. You got to get better. John Moran is good for 25 a night when he's locked in and he's healthy, and there's no other stuff going on. And man, you can put him up there. But now we have to see what's going to happen. And he said for the rest of the year, no, he should be playing, right? Because his market value needs to go. His market value is kind of low right now. He needs to play and prove himself for the rest of the season. So
Took
as
a
far as
brush
my
right out of my
favorite,
mouth.
I'll say my favorite to answer your question is I'll say the James Harden trade. But I
Yeah.
was expecting the Greek freak to get traded and hoping the Nicers go to the Knicks.
Yeah. Maybe next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Ease, what about yours?
man. Don't have a favorite. I definitely
Okay.
have a least favorite though. The 76ers traded Jared McCain to the OKC Thunder for the Rockets' first round pick, which the way they're playing, this will be a late pick, late 20s, 25, 26. I mean, we traded who should have been rookie of the year last year before he got hurt. An amazing sharpshooter, knockdown 3-point shooter for a pick that when we have a chance to actually make a good playoff push. And B's been healthy and B's been playing good. Maxey has made that leap, taking the next step. We have a great rookie in BJ Edgecombe. Um, unfortunately, Papa Pill P is not playing right now, but
Prescription P. I call him prescription P.
Not prescription P. That's crazy.
whenever he comes back, 25 games, about 20 games left, and he comes back, he was meshing with the guys, man. We look good this year. I'm really disappointed that we traded such a young asset. And then for a pick, we have enough players right now. We don't need a rookie that's a late 20th pick. We can compete for a championship right now. So yeah, I'm pretty upset about that trade, but I trust the process. Hopefully these guys can shake back. But I was looking forward to the Giannis trade, just like everybody else, I think.
Like
The thing
everybody
about
was.
Giannis, yeah, it's just so hard to trade a player like that. Like I told you guys, a player that volume, that caliber, it's hard to get or a better value for that. So the Bucks couldn't let him go. Can't trade an MVP caliber player, a top 3 player in the world, the best player in your franchise history. You can't trade that for pennies on the dollar. I do think in the offseason, when the draft picks fall, you can see who has what picks, contracts free up. It's more cap space. Maybe a possibility a trade gets revisited in the summer. You might see him go to a Golden State, you might see him go to San Antonio. There's rumors about him going to OKC, and that would scare me. The league would be in trouble if they traded away those picks and Jalen or Chet and somebody made it work. I would be scared, but I think a bigger trade like that is more feasible to happen in the summer. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, there you had it. I'm curious to know, you guys, like, what was your favorite trade this year or your least favorite trade? Drop it in the comments so that we can have a deeper discussion about that. All right. So, the All-Star game is coming up. So, Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets, and then we have Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks. And this is going to be their first appearance while LeBron James, the GOAT, has been selected for a NBA record 22 straight All-Star appearances. So, as we know, the All-Star game has been taking a dip in TV ratings. Based off of some research, it was like 13% since last year. So, the lack of effort from the players is what I have saw that people have been saying. So from your perspective, guys, like what needs to be done for players to play harder in this upcoming All-Star game?
I would say, to be honest with you guys, I think the All-Star game, just like the Pro Bowl, eventually will be no longer existing. Let me tell you why. It's
Mm,
because guys have, number one, guys are getting paid way more money to play, right? We got guys that are market brands. They don't want to hurt their brand. They don't want to be able to showcase their skills. Part is because some of these guys they love the game, but they want to protect their money. They don't want to get hurt. And disagree with that. Let me tell you why. It's because a lot of these guys play harder in summer league. Right?
true.
If you watch some of these summer leagues that goes on, these guys, I mean, they go at it. But you're on the national stage, the best players in the world, the best players in the league, and we can't get y'all to play defense.
Yeah.
A little bit of defense, right? There's no study found that guys who play hard in the All-Star game end up getting hurt.
Yeah.
You only get hurt if you don't play hard. That's my theory. Being a former player, like anytime I didn't play hard, anytime I got injured, I wasn't playing to the max of my ability. I'm not saying go out there and go crazy. But it's unfortunate that these guys, they put their market brand in a lot of legends. You think about legends like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah
Mm,
Thomas, all these guys who are staples in the game of basketball, they don't come to the All-Star weekend
yeah.
because they feel disrespected, right? If you look at any interview of any NBA Hall of Famer and talk about today's players, you can't find not one Hall of Famer talking good about an NBA player and how they play today because they don't play hard, right?
Mm. So at this point, it's there for entertainment.
Right. And I'll tell you that just my opinion. I think LeBron, even looking at the slam dunk contest, right? Guys don't want to compete. We grew up watching Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dominique
Yeah.
Wilkins, I mean, people were thriving to be in the slam dunk contest, and we can't get guys.
Hmm.
I mean, I would like to see John Moran. I would like to see Zion. I would like to see Ant Man, right? I would
Yeah.
like to see guys that can high fly because that's what we thrive on. If those four guys are in the slam dunk contest, ratings itself will go crazy. I think the last slam dunk competition, in my opinion, that was really good was Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon going back and forth, and that was amazing. So to answer your question, will it change? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I know Adam Silver's doing his best. The USA versus the world. He had, a couple of years back, you had players picking who can be on their team, which was a dope concept.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, he can only do so much because if guys are not going to play hard, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
You
So at
know,
this point, just take it away. That's what I'm
it'll
hearing.
be it'll be a selection, and then you'll have a couple of days off. It seems like guys rather rest and be with their families for All-Star Weekend than actually celebrating the game. And
Yeah.
that's what young kids, that's what we grew up on, and that's what we remember, celebrating the game. We look forward to seeing slam dunk. We look forward to seeing guys compete in the All-Star game. This might be
Yeah.
the last
No,
year. We'll see.
I get I get it. No, I used to watch the slam dunk contest with my dad, and now he doesn't even watch it.
Yeah,
I should tell
it's all.
you, he's a huge NBA fan. What you think, Eves?
I think the easiest fix, put LeBron in the slam dunk contest. It would be the most viewed slam dunk contest of all times, but that's not happening, man. If he ain't doing it in his prime, I doubt it's happening now. But yeah, All Star, it's a dying breed, man. Players, even the active players, don't really speak good about the game. Like you said, Ryan, they want to rest. They want to spend time with their family. They want to get ready and gear up for a playoff push. They don't want to play the extra game. They're not playing the extra game seriously. They're not playing defense. It's nothing but a glorified 3-point contest. I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to tune in. I love basketball too much to sit it out. But I definitely think, hopefully, this next generation, they come in, they're hungry for it. They want to see you compete. Hopefully, the Ant-Mans, the Amin Thompsons, the Amin Thompsons, the Wimbenyamas, hopefully, as they develop and they get more into the league, they can kind of set the precedent for the next wave of superstars that follows beneath them. So hopefully, no time soon, I see it coming back to standards how it used to be, but I do see that it has a chance to come back in the future. So
Mm,
we'll see.
well,
If
it's
if
going to take those individuals to make that change.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we have a G League player coming in winning multiple slam dunk contests, that says a lot. And I'll say
Hmm.
this: if LeBron were to enter, like you said, I think if he would have entered back in his prime days when he was with Cleveland or Miami, he's so powerful. He has a gravitational pull to him with other players. If he entered the slam dunk contest, I guarantee you, we would have seen more players do that, like you said, because that's
yeah,
how great and that's how attractive he is as a leader, someone that people can relate to. Because if he do it, a lot of people else, everybody else, going to do it,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
So it's just one of those things where, like you said, is having a G League player. I mean, come on now. I mean, he did his thing. He's from Virginia. Matt McClung, he did his thing. We respect that, but we shouldn't ask for G League players or guys from other leagues coming into the NBA slam dunk contest because we got guys who are getting paid lots of money that can jump, that are talented, that don't want to do it, right? So I think
Nah.
there's no change. I don't see it, and I honestly I hope Team World, Luka Doncic and Sengun and SGA, these guys. I hope all these guys give it to USA. I hope they beat them by 30. I hope they beat them by 30.
if they
Because
get
right now,
blown out this
a lot
year,
of the,
it's not
mhm.
going to happen again next year. If they get blown out this year, Team USA is coming back next year with a vengeance.
Oh, it'd be embarrassing.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
embarrassing.
We need it.
The top five best players in the world in the league right now are from the United States.
And this is
Now,
Hmm.
the first.
if you want to add in Curry, if you want to add in Ant-Man, that's fine. But top five, in my opinion, the best player in the world right now is not from the United States, and to me, that'd be the Joker. Then you got SGA, and then you got Luca, and then you got Giannis, right? I mean, Sengun is on his way. So you got guys that can play,
Hmm.
but and they put a team together to play Team USA. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see. We definitely talking about that if they lose.
All right. Well, Eves, hold on, wait, because now you made a good point. So you said that was your top five. Eves, what would be your top five?
I guess I would have to go Joker. Joker, he's carrying his team offense in every way imaginable, scoring, passing, assist. So yeah, the Joker, Giannis, Luca, SGA, and then I'm a little biased. I don't care. You guys can criticize me. Give me a healthy Joel Embiid over anybody else in the league than those four guys, and we're good
Philly
to
all day. Philly
go.
all day.
That's the key.
I'll be surprised. You got
Absolutely.
a crib. You got a crib in Philly.
People up there.
Okay. He's a fan of
Yep.
Philly.
There you go.
That's good. All right. Well, you guys, before we talk about our next segment, I definitely want to give the opportunity for Ease to talk about the betting. As you guys know, Super Bowl is coming up. So he want to make sure you guys are straight. And Ease, take it away.
Hey, told you guys, hammer the 76ers money line, and what happened? The 76ers won. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. With that being said, please gamble responsibly. If you can't afford to play with the money, don't play with it. If you can afford with it, take my advice and let's run it up. For the Super
Uh,
Bowl, we are taking Drake May rushing yards. I see Drake May with about 30 rushing yards. The Seattle pass defense is going to be impeccable, as well as that pass rush. Like I said, if they have any chance to win this game, Drake May is going to have a big day, but especially a big day on the yards. Excuse me, a big day on the ground. Drake May for 30 rushing yards. I love JSN. He's playing like the best receiver in the league year after year. He had a great year. I will take JSN for 6 catches. I do think he has a tough matchup with Gonzo, one of the best corners in the league, but it really hasn't mattered. He averaged around 9 catches to end the season into this playoff run, so I'm definitely looking forward to JSN. I think he has a big game, at least 6 catches. And Ramondre Stevenson's 30 rushing yards. The Patriots don't want to pass the ball against this defense. I keep saying it. I'll continue to say it. They do not want to pass the ball. I don't think they have much success passing the ball. I don't think they actually have much success on offense in this game. So Ramondre Stevenson should get the ball early and often to keep the game in their favor, keep time possession in their hands, and keep the ball out of Sam Darnold's hands. So I think he has a good game. I think he gets the ball early to try to set the tone, but I don't think it lasts too long. Ramondre Stevenson for 40 rushing yards. That's your 3-leg parlay to go into the Super Bowl.
Awesome. Well, I want to hear from you guys. Did you guys take Eve's betting advice last game? If so, drop them in the comments because the guy knows what he's talking about. That's all I'm saying. Clearly. Of course. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about some football. My fave. So we're going to start with Trinidad Chambliss, the quarterback with Ole Miss. So he has an appeal, and it was denied once again by the NCAA for an additional year of eligibility so he can play next season. The initial request waiver was January the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just curious, why are they giving Trinidad the runaround when it comes to approving him to play next season?
Man, they need some sort of clarity and some sort of consistency in these rules. The NCAA, man, people get granted eligibility that shouldn't have it. People that deserve it aren't getting it. It is a complete mayhem and mixed matches over there. Yes, he did play in JUCO. Yes, he was a transfer player, but he hasn't played top tier Division I FBS football consistently. Fortunately for him, I think it's a blessing in disguise. This is a weak quarterback class. Outside of Fernando Mendoza, there aren't too many top tier quarterback prospects. I do think he has the ability to enter the draft prospect as potentially the top 3 quarterback pick behind Todd Simpson. So I think that he should just focus on getting ready for the draft, getting ready for the combine. It happened, man. My best advice for you: just move past it. You never probably get a real reason for why it happened. The NCAA, they have so much going on; they need to get figured out. I say, man, just focus up, getting ready for the draft. Focus on getting the best quarterback prospect you can, and continue to succeed.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, what's new? I mean, the NCAA is this. This is what we're talking about here, right? The NCAA do what they want to do, right? We got guys that want to come back to college, and we got guys that want to stay in college, right? So this will be a formula that's going to happen for I don't know how long until the NCAA can figure out some stimulation, some contracts, some age ranges of when guys can stay in college and when they can get out. right? It's all about what's best for the player, and they know that, but it's also looking out for their best interests as well, right? This young man, if I'm not mistaken, how many does he have another year left?
No, that's it.
It's
That's
He's going
it.
yeah.
to be draft this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I think his example of what his journey is, you're going to see that a lot with other players, quarterbacks, DBs, other guys that are in college, even college basketball, in college in general, are going to go through that, right? There's several players that feel like they have another year left that they didn't get granted another year, right? And then we got guys that graduated or been in college since back in 2019, it's 2026, that want to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So until we get some stimulations, like I said, this is going to be a recurrence thing. So we'll see what the NCAA is going to do.
Yeah. Definitely curious. We'll keep an eye on that. All right. So we talked about, the All-Star game, but let's talk about this Pro Bowl that just took place. So NFC won the Pro Bowl with an overall score of 66-52 over the AFC. Did you guys get a chance to watch it?
I'm not
No.
gonna lie to y'all. I'm not wasting my time watching no touch football. I think, like I said about the NBA All-Star game, it's going to get to a point where it's they used to tackle, they used to go all out. Obviously, football is a more aggressive sport than basketball. We don't want guys getting hurt. I understand that, but no, I don't think the Pro Bowl is different. The Pro Bowl is different than the NBA. I think
That's true.
NBA is you're not tackling somebody, you're just playing defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different stimulations with the game. But as far as watching it, I didn't waste my time. I like to see guys that, they get selected as they deserve, maybe have a ceremony for them. But there's no need to watch that touch tackle. It's
That's
you
actually
wasting
not a
about
bad idea. A whole ceremony.
have a ceremony. Have a end of the year ceremony. I'm sure they do that anyway. But have some separate for the guys who made, Pro Bowl year after year. Have just have something for the guys. But as far as out there watching touch tackle, I mean, we got better stuff to do than watch that.
Sheesh. All right.
So I got an idea. Y'all hear me out. Y'all hear me out real quick.
That's it.
For the Pro Bowl, you can be nominated a Pro Bowler, have it for your resume. That's good. I think the game should be between the first team All Pro, second team All Pro, and play for your spot. If you was voted the second team All Pro, let's say you're the second best quarterback, you're the second best defensive tackle, you're the second best. Go out there, go play the first best, play for that spot. Whoever wins his first team, whoever loses the second team, I would love it. If those people don't compete, and of course they're athletes, they're top tier world class athletes. They compete for a title. They will compete to say, I'm better than you. Let's do it. I would love to see it. What you guys think?
No, that's not a bad
Yeah,
idea. You definitely see some
yeah,
competition if they do
yeah.
go that route.
Let's call Roger Goodell. Make something happen.
Roger,
yeah,
Roger, call our people so that we can get connected and give you these
yeah,
ideas.
yeah. I love it.
Awesome. All right. Well, before we wrap up things, as you know, February is Black History Month, so I definitely want to talk about this topic, especially football is dear to my heart. So the NFL regular season has ended, and there was 10 opening spots for teams looking for a new head coach. And out of those 10, they only hired one minority, which was Robert Saleh to the Tennessee Titans. So the NFL did implement the Rooney Rule in December of 2002, and the policy pretty much you just established to increase the numbers of minorities, candidates interviewed for head coaching and front office jobs. So I'm just curious to hear your thoughts and your opinions. Should star NFL players be more vocal when it comes to, the lack of diversity in head coaching?
Absolutely. I think, the amount of players that as far as these guys in this day and age in the NFL, the way they're getting paid, the marketing that they have, I don't think, in my opinion, we haven't seen if any players advocate for black coaches to get hired. Maybe they did it behind closed doors, but as far as on camera interviews, things of that nature, that I haven't seen. But yeah, I mean, what's new with the NFL, right? I think the Rooney Rule it's just to throw out there, but a lot of these coaching vacancies that coaches are getting these jobs, the owners already knew who they're going to pick,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? They'll do the interview. They say they do the interview. But there's a lot of guys that deserve a job. We look at Brian Flores. I mean, he's one hell of a coach. He should be have another coaching job. Lovey Smith can be another one. I mean, the list goes on. Obviously, Mike Tomlin. I mean, he's not in this category because he's such a legendary coach. He'll coach again. But there's other young coaches that have climbed the ranks from being a defensive coordinator to an assistant coach. Like they've climbed the ranks where they should be getting interviews and landing these jobs. So until the NFL changes, which I don't think it will they hire another black coach at some point? Of course. But it's not going to be at the rate like the NBA. The NBA, if you look at the NBA, they're up to par.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a black coach on every team in the NBA, whether they got fired or whether they're still there. But all teams in the NBA have hired a black coach at one point or another. There's some multiple NFL teams that have never ever hired a black coach, right? So until that changes, and I think the players do have, in my opinion, there's a lot of great players that need to advocate for that. Because if you advocate for that, if you're on the front lines of advocating for black coaches to get hired,
That's how
just
you make
imagine,
changes.
just imagine Derek Prescott or Aaron Rodgers, that Mike Tomlin got. He decided to go a different direction. That he came to the Rooney family, or you look at the kid from the quarterback for the New York Giants. Got his name, slipped my mind. Yeah, right. The Giants never hired a black coach ever.
Mm.
So if you think about him even doing something like that, right? So just the certain simulations that I think players, if they think about it, they can advocate. And I think once they start doing that, there's only so much, other people can do,
Mm-hmm.
commentators and analysts like ourselves can advocate. But if you're in the league and you got connects and you know a lot of black coaches that deserve it, say something. Say it in
I
front of the
agree.
camera.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, adding on to that, it's more than just the Rooney Rule. Is even on the rarity that we do get a black coach, man, they have the shortest leash imaginable. A lot of black coaches are one and done. We just saw it last year in New England with Gerard Mayo. A year later,
Mm-hmm.
Patriots in the Super Bowl. Who's to say that the foundations and the structures and the implements that he had isn't what's affecting and carrying over into this run? We saw the Chiefs multiple years. Offensive coordinator was Eric Bieniemy, an amazing offensive coordinator. Patrick Mahomes had his best years with Bieniemy. What happens? He goes to Washington. He has one bad year with Washington, who, let's be honest, has bad offenses consistently. After multiple years, Patrick Mahomes, and what does he do? Gets fired. He's out of a job until this year he got bought back. We see it all the time, man. It's the same rinse and repeat cycle. They constantly bring back the same white coaches, the same coaching trees, the same nonsense and BS that we constantly see. While black coaches are constantly being overlooked, fired at an exponential rate, and being underhired. So, man, until things change in the NFL, it's definitely going to be sad. We need more black players to speak up. We need more players in general to speak up. We need black coaches. We need black owners. There are still teams that
Yeah.
haven't played a black quarterback for 10 games. This league is over 100 years old. This is crazy to me. Will it change? I hope so. But
Yeah.
we know how this stuff works. It's handshakes and kissing babies. It's keeping things in the circle, keeping things tight. So unfortunately, I don't see it change anytime soon, but I hope it does. I hope more players advocate for coaches. I hope they actually get a fair shot, not just a here you go, I interviewed you to interview you. It's kind of what the Rooney Rule feels like. It honestly feels somewhat disrespectful. A lot of these coaches come in the day before they hire their next head coach. They never had a fair
Mm.
shot that way.
Yeah.
So hopefully things change. Hopefully things change for the better. Let's see.
Yeah. Well, that pretty much, wrap up our episode. But before we do get into our 2-minute warning question segment, I know we're all excited for the Super Bowl Sunday. So, predictions. Who do you guys think is going to take the win home? Seahawks or the Patriots? I'm going to go with the Seahawks because their defense, top tier. Top tier.
You called it right. It's Seahawks. Seahawks. I think defense is on point. I think Sam Darnold's going to show up. I think this will be a start for some of him. The experience. I mean, he's really been balling the past 2 seasons. So I don't expect anything different.
Yeah, man, same as you guys. I think the Seahawks. I think it's a good game, but I think the Seahawks pull away late. Um, Looking forward to watching it. Looking forward to eating some good food too.
That part.
There you
You
go.
cooking, Ease? Are you cooking?
I'm on the grill, man. I'll put some in the mail.
Okay. Mail me something over.
I got you.
All right. So 2-minute warning over. Give the floor to Ryan. Let's go.
So, as you said, Black History Month, a great month, and a lot of, as people know, football and basketball are predominantly played by Black athletes on men and women's side, right? You think about over the years how much Black athletes have elevated sports, have elevated the game, right? For disenfranchised communities, when we grew up, we looked at players as our idol. We want to be like this person. We want to idolize this person, right?
Yeah.
So the first question I'll come to you, Cass, is that, being a Black woman and, into sports, your career, what you do, you know, who was your favorite Black woman athlete that you admired, that even if you didn't admire, that shaped your mindset, that shaped your career, that you looked at as an example of kind of how you want to go about your everyday?
Yeah. So a lot of phenomenal women actually come to mind, but my favorite is going to be Serena Williams. Which is crazy. Like Serena Williams, yeah.
The GOAT.
So
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really just appreciate her bond that she has with her sister. It just shows like the relationship building, the peace, the love, the support. And that's something that I take with me or daily when it comes to work, when it comes to my family, when it comes to my friends. On top of that, the amount of amazing things Serena Williams have done behind closed doors or in the forefront of creating her own space, creating her own seat at the table. As a recruiter, as someone who's in the HR space, like I advocate for my clients, I advocate for my candidates when it comes to equal pay or minority or diversity, whatever the case may be. And just seeing her work that she does, it just lifts me up and it just motivates me to continue to do what I do when it comes to my career and also, having that peace and that love when it comes to those relationship buildings with my friends and my family. So
That's awesome.
definitely Serena Williams. You my
That's
girl.
awesome. Hey, that's awesome. And she's a legend. I mean, a lot of even, got people from other sports look up to her. I mean, the
Yeah.
way she carries herself with the legacy that she's built and the consistency, that movie with King Richie with her and her sister,
Yes.
it's a perfect example, right? Of just how the model of consistency being where they're from Compton and going what they're going through, so now that's a great example of who she is. So yeah, I appreciate that answer for sure.
Yeah.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
So Eve, you run Philly, you the mayor of Philly, you the president of Philly, everything Philly,
The mayor is crazy.
right? So as we know, there's a lot of sports teams, a lot of sports cities all over the United States, right? And I'm not gonna even add being the DC area, they not top five. I mean, there was one year the Washington Mystics and the Washington Capitals won the championship while the Wizards and the Commanders stuck. Like they sucked that year. So your top five cities, bro, not naming Philly. Give me your top five cities, sports cities, not with Philly being involved. What do you tell me what you got, bro?
Man, I think unfortunately I gotta start off with New England, Boston. Just they
Yeah,
are a model of consistency between the
yeah.
Patriots and the Celtics,
Great
Red
number one.
Sox,
Yep.
Bruins. Man, it's hard to argue against them. They win consistently, they have won consistently. They probably will continue to win consistently. So we'll see. But Boston, New England, whatever you want to call it, is probably the best sports city in the world right now, outside of Philly. Let's make sure y'all know that. Then we got LA. Definitely between the talent they produce, as far as athletes come, the titles with the Lakers, the Dodgers are about to go on a crazy run right now. They might get baseball shut down. Actually, I'm not sure you guys seen all that going on with the CBA over there, but the Dodgers are definitely looking good for LA. So yeah, LA, Boston, Dallas. As much as I hate them, the Cowboys are a model of consistency in the early 90s and the 80s. They were America's team. The Mavericks had a great run with Dirk Nowitzki. They had a great run with Luka Doncic. They definitely carried their weight in the 80s and the 90s. Go back to California real quick. Let's go to the Bay. As we know, we just saw the run with Golden State and what they were able to do through the early 2010s and 2020s with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and them boys. They definitely had a great run. The Giants have been amazing. And then also you do have the 49ers. They had a great run as well in the 90s and the 80s to help rival Dallas. So those who kind of go hand in hand. And then for my last, they aren't the best. They actually don't even have much. But I gotta go to DC, man. It's right there. I kept all my games in DC, man. I got
Really?
To the somewhat.
Your first time ever. Okay.
Yeah. They just get the hometown discount, man. That's all it is.
That's the hometown discount.
The hometown discount.
I saw the Sixers beat up on them. I saw the Eagles beat up on them. I want to catch a game, probably catch it in DC. And I worked for the Redskins for a little bit. Fun fact, I worked for the Redskins for about a year. So give them a little love.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Shout out.
Salute, man. Yeah. When DC, I'll end with this. When DC's winning, the city's amazing. Yeah. I think that's every sports city, but when you're winning, when all sports teams in one city's winning, man, it's unreal to be a part of. Yes, unreal to be part of. So I appreciate you sharing that, bro. That's awesome, man.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, this concludes episode 2. Again, you guys, we truly, truly appreciate your support. If there are some topics that you guys want us to talk about or dive in a little bit deeper, drop those in the comments too. So until then, you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. And I'm curious to see what the outcome will be. Till next time.